today is about developing, particularly in nighttime economy, and we propose a decentralized platform to integrate all the information of that. So my name is Hai, and the team is from with the UEH universities. So in overview, I think I'm gonna. So in the overview, you can have what is the purpose of this platform. So this platform aims to enhance the nighttime economy by encourage the community participation and facilitating the efficient data sharing among stakeholders in the tourism industries. The second part, we mentioned about the importance of nighttime economy in particularly in tourism. The tourism here is not only attract the tourists, but also the local people. So this platform can be introduced to different target group. The first target group is the government authorities. The second group is who design and strategists, and the third group is resident and tourists. So as you can see on the whole diagram here, we have on the left side, where's the government and the business investor who create the urban space, but the one who be influenced or imparted is residents, business entities, as well as tourists. And in the space of urban, we have a tangible as well intangible, the formal and informal. How can we integrate that? That is a question of what we try to aim for. In the urban space, we have a resident and tourist information, right? So talking about nighttime economy, we have a residents as well as tourists. The lot of information can be used. The other is a symbiotic relationship between the public and private investments, because you have a public space, but also you have a private ownership. How to kind of balance between the public and private. And of course, talking about the urban, we cannot ignore the unique of geographical and natural and topographical factors of that. So in the urban space, there is a lot of things going on with the different agents, agent from resident, agent from tourists, the relationship, and also the natural factors. So within the context of that, I want to jump into the nighttime economy, where you see a lot of benefit out of that. First, when we talk about is economic growth, also the cohesion between the community and cultures, creating job, as well as advancement of creativity and cultures. That is nothing need to be mentioned clearly. But I want to emphasize a bit further in the nighttime economy when we're talking about different sectors. So core nighttime economies usually included entertainment, food and beverage, but not to ignore the non-core nighttime economy, where you're talking about the public and private transportations, the accommodation, education, security, healthcare, and retail service, because those sectors is very important to support, to facilitate the core nighttime economy. Without the non-core nighttime economy, you cannot run that. So with these different sectors, you can see on the left side, there is a list of detail of different activities from the and as well government 2022 in Sydney, and they have this research. And how about the sustainable tourism issue? We're talking nowadays when we already seeing the after the COVID, many tourism going down, many activities going down, the economic going down, not vibrant anymore. And as well as I think it's maybe the good side for the environmentals, where you don't have a lot of people, a lot of carbon emissions, but we also try to balance them, try to balance between the economic, the cultures as well as environmentals as well. So within this, you can see when it comes to the sustainable design practice, it's more kind of like have to be communities, it has to be locally. So the decentralization and democratizations the more one of the most crucial factors when talking about decentralization and democratizations. I give an example of one of the study in the nighttime economy in Australia as well. So on the dashboard, you can easily see the survey that they did during the night, and then you can see where the people are going out for the restaurant, where the people going out for the cinema, and what is the most activities across them. And also those are challenged to those spaces is that they prefer 41% of the people better to option elsewhere, and they prefer to have parking and public transport. So all of these needs are derived from the local, derived from the people. But now what we haven't seen here is the top-down agencies, more kind of like, like the city or the designer trying to implement on the top-down directions. So on the left side, you see kind of like mayor, where the top level of politicals, or you have a different stakeholder participate, and also city planner of that. So from the top down, you gonna approach the city as a large scale and then come to the neighborhood. So most of the design or most of the planning is more kind of like city regions areas. With the top-down agencies, it's usually a lot of continuous engagement in governance, planning, and actions, because you don't know sure about the needs of the people, so that you have to run the survey and so on. So it takes a lot of time. On the right side, you have a different approach where you have a bottom up, where you have a architect and developer from private, you have an NGO from the public, and also resident and tourists as well. So with those four agents, we can see a lot of like more approach into the building, more approach into the neighborhood. So if the bottom up, it usually can have it very hard to kind of like a comprehensive plan. So how to manage the question of this platform is to tackle the difficulties in the lack of effective data sharing among the stakeholder, a lot of community engagement, especially in nighttime planning, because there is a lot informal happening, a lot of data that is not viable or visible to the top level of management, like the mayor or stakeholder or city planner at all. It's very take time, as well as the challenging in collecting and utilizing the feedback from residents and tourists, as I mentioned. So all of that, the need of decentralized approach to empower all user group is needed, and we found that it's very interesting to see how those agencies can come together in the same platform to work together. So we come up with a kind of like the platform where you can create together, create meaning, create the data, create the use of the data, and create the full optimization of the system. So maybe you already heard about the HSI in urbans, like human computer interactions. And it's happened like really long ago, when 1963, Ivan already have a from MIT already invented sketchpad, where this they can invent and draw in the machine, and then it's giving you a lot of like visualization of that. But at the time, the machine is huge, and then in 1970, Donald already have the environmental try to implement that machine into environmental simulations, as you already seeing the previous presentation, something mentioned about a lot of elements in the urbans. And recently in 2022, the urban planning already have a different supporting from the the technologies and like a lot of like augmented AR and VR, people talking a lot about that. But how can we, as the residents, as the people who use the space, can utilize that? How can we, not the expert, how the non-expert can use that? Nowadays, a lot of that is the question of the interaction UI UX. So our platform quite simple to, first of all, giving the user the basic information exchange between the government, implementers, citizen, and partners, so they can see the land use, different population, as well as the building use on the right side. With like you can select the housing, office, hotel, school, or so on. And also on the left side, you can easily see what is the proportion of that. It's gonna be real time and so on. When talking about nighttime economy, that is a very different activity. It's very hard to collect the data during the night. So we have a user interface where the user can select the formal or informal. They can select the time differences, and then they can zoom in a different sections of the activities. For example, on the low corner of the right side, you can select only the F&B, and then you can see where is the most dense areas and where is the less dense areas. So why we need this? For example, take this map. So the planner or the investor can see where is the potential to set up the F&B for the futures, to bring more kind of equities for the neighborhood. For the tourists, they can see where is the activities can be happen, and like the catchment areas from presenters. You can see where's the most dynamic areas of that, and then you can choose to go there. So there is a difference. But also what I want to emphasize here is that this platform can be open to the user as well, so they can actually adding the information to that. And that is the way that our researcher and the government can get the information of that, can get out of the information that is easy to access, easy to create, easy to share the data. So on the humans, we're talking about create more kind of like healthy urban scale. But that is a very fast changing of a different urban scale. And when we conduct the survey, usually the survey is very useful and super crucial for all researcher. But eventually, that survey will be ended into one article, two article, and then it doesn't share to the public at all. So the businesses have to run their own survey, the researchers have to run their own surveys, the government has to run their own surveys again. How about the design proposal? After you survey, you have to do to change something, to design something. So design proposal often remain into the expert committee, or sometimes it can be shared to the public, but it's hardly to be interact, hardly to be observed, and sometimes it's very hard to understand as well. So we found out that all the human finance and time resources are not efficiently utilized. Well, what is the question now? What is the solution for that? So for example, the platform here, we kind of roughly showing like, so the city planner can design this area more high rise, more focus on the particular activities. On the other side, another investor want to keep it low, to keep more kind of human scale, to have a more kind of accessible for the people. So that is when the end user, like resident or like a local communities can easily come up and see what is their preferences, and then as a researcher, we can get the feedback easily without any spend time and effort and money to that. It's a lot of effort. And one thing I want to talk is also the survey. The survey should be shared. The survey should be investigated, but has to be done properly and shared properly, so that all of the communities and as well as researcher us can be benefited from that. And then we can like easily support and advance the community further with the platform. So at the end, I don't want to talk much about technical, so let's go to the final things that we found out is that with this one we have one of the research articles public about a different scenario in urban planning, and we seeing how the people react to that, how the people feedback to that. So the yellow one is the scenario 2, which is having a different indicator and different measures, why the scenario 1 can be bigger, get more kind of like a support or like more preferences to that. So all of that, the major can see, okay, well, what is the most uh, benefit project that they should support, and what aspect of that, maybe the economic, maybe environmental, or maybe a social aspect. And so for the further step, I think for the open data hub should be between the cities. We would love to see how can the other user can be used, another city can be used. I think that's I see some of the same a similar process working with the developing the platform between the Thailand as well as India. As I have a few colleagues working on that as well. And of course, we see global south is very lack of data sharing. We have a European where they have open data share. American all have a very strong supporting. Uh, but also we want to tackle not only the build platform. We don't aim to build platform to do nothing. We aim to do a platform for the local issue. The local issue can be the decarbonization, the local can be safety, security, local issue can be the mobility of traffic jam or so on. So it's a pleasure to listen and features. I think that's what I want to say today. And that's it. Very quick. Thank you.